Let's go to our fuser.swift file. I'm going to close this. Scroll all the way down, and here I'm going to create a func called update current user, and we need to update it with values, and the values we are going to pass are string, it's a key value pairs, which is string any, and I want to be notified when my update is done, so I'm putting a completion handler here, and I want to receive the error variable back. We're not returning anything, so we say void here, and this is our function. So we are going to pass a key value pairs what we want to update in a user object, and it's going to go ahead and update it online. So if we go to our Firebase, let's say I will pass like first name equals to David, full address equals to something like this, full name equals to this, and it will come here and update the specific key value pairs, and it will not touch the other key value pairs that we have not specified. So in order to update something, we need to access to this dictionary. The best place to access the dictionary currently is our user defaults, because remember, as soon as we have created our first user, which is, let's find it, the one here without full information, we save this user locally in our user defaults. So we can access it, and we don't have to call this function again to convert it into dictionary, because we are saving it as a dictionary straight away to our user defaults. So let me first check if there is actually something in our user defaults, because we don't want to access something, force unwrap it, and then there is nothing in our user defaults and it will crash our application. So we say if let dictionary is equals to user defaults dot object for key, and the key is our k current user. So if we have this, we are going to say let user object equals, and we want to take this whatever we have saved in our user defaults, because right now it's you cannot mutate it. In other words, you cannot change the values of it. So in order to be able to change the values, we are going to make a mutable copy of that dictionary. So I'm going to say dictionary, and this is as any. If I type it, you will see our compiler doesn't know what we are getting from our user defaults. But since we know that we have saved a dictionary there, we can safely say that this is as ns dictionary, and I will put this in parentheses. And now we can make a mutable copy, and once we make a copy of it and say this is as ns mutable dictionary, now we can update our key value pairs straight away. This makes it super easy. And what we want to do is to say user object, and now we are going to do the update. We say set value for key, and this is setting one value for key, but what we want to do is to set multiple values. So we go down to these set values for keys, and here we just pass keyed values. So what we pass key value pairs, and it will go and update our dictionary with our new key value pairs. And luckily, these key value pairs we already passed to our application, to our function here. So I will just say with values here. So now we have this user object, which is updated with our latest information that we want to change in our user object. And we have a option to save this. So I will say Firebase reference .user.document, and the document path is our f user dot current ID, and then I want to update my data, and as you can see, it requires any hashable, any as a dictionary here. Any hashable, for example, a string is a hashable value. So we provide key value pairs that we want to update it. And I want the one with completion handler, so we can be notified when our user has been updated. So here I'm going to pass my user object. Actually, this is what we save in our user defaults. And here we are passing our key with values, completion, and there is an error here. So what I'm doing here is saving my f user object, updating it basically with the new values. This will go on ahead and update it in our Firebase. So let's say completion here, we are calling back our completion and passing our error in case if we had one. So our function that calls this is notified. And then what I want to do is to update my local user as well, because right now we are updating our Firebase user, but our local user in our user defaults under this key is not being updated, because we have got the user from our user defaults. We have updated the values we wanted to update. Now I can save this to my user defaults back, because we just take it, we update it, and we save it back. But why I'm not doing the saving back here is because the user local saving will not cause any errors, and this will work for 100%. But for our Firestore, there may be an error, and we don't want to update our current user, which will make our Firebase user and current user out of synchronization. Because if this one fails with an error, we will end up with a local user fully updated and Firebase user with half of the information. But we want to keep these two all the time in synchronization. So we say if error is not equals to nil, so it means we have no error. I will say save user locally, and then I will pass my new user object. This is the updated version of my user object, and this way I will update my Firebase and I will update my local user in only when my Firebase update was successful. Just getting rid of the extra empty lines from here, and we are ready to use this function in our update finish onboarding user.